Now, in this video, I want to explain more about how to deal with your tracks inside of your MPC software and to sort of give it more of that bump to it. Now, a lot of times what I do like MPC plugins, but I like to use high-end plugins. Just my thing, and I just want to have the best possible plugins to spend less time actually trying to fiddle around and get the sound I want to get. So I've already got my sound here. Let's play this back. I got my sound, I like it somewhat, and I've got my output set up here, for my drums. And I've got a lot of music here, but I'm using my track, that main track output, to be just for the drums. I sent everything else to subgroups. You'll notice here, that's a subgroup right there, right? There's a subgroup 1. This is going to subgroup 2, subgroup 3, and so on. So the other sounds I have are all going to separate subgroups. So not coming out the main group, which is the track. The track is just going to be for the drums. And so here on the drums, what I do, I'll get to the end here, and I've got this, I'm using this. This is a Teletronics, and this is an LA2. A lot of you guys have seen me use this before. I love having this sound. If I pull it off of here, it's going to be a much more different sound. Let me pack it on here. Now watch this. That's kind of hot. So I'll pull it down a little bit more. Just making sure this compressor's tight. This is on the overall sound of the drums going through that track. I turn it off. That's how the drums actually sound, with their little plugins on top of them to get the right EQ and frequency for each sound in the drum kit. I'll turn this on. Okay, so now I got that happening. And I'll see that here in the mix. Now you'll see here in subgroup 1, 2, 3, up to subgroup 6, they're muted. Our music is right there. I'll make sure the drums are tight. So now my master output is right here. On the right-hand side, you'll see here. That's it right there. If I move it a little bit. I'm gonna bring this up somewhat. I don't want to get too heavy. I might go right about 8 or so here. It's minus 8 dB right there. So now what I want to do is check this mix out before I add anything else to it. But the first thing I'm going to come do with here, I'm going to come right here, I'm going to add this WORX. It's an EQ. And so I'll come to here. I want to roll off some of this here. This low end here. See that? We'll see the highs rather. All right, so watch this here. I'll turn this on. Add a little bit here. What I'm doing here, trying to make sure the mono end is going to be right here, about 105 hertz. It solidifies what's ever going to be mono in this mix to stay mono and not get sidetracked by the stereo field. Next, I want to add this, a HITSVILLE EQ. This is my boom bap mix master EQ. I'm going to come in here now and add this. Listen to this carefully. I like that. I make it so like it's a boom bap feel and everything's there. Okay, that's tight. So now I'm going to get rid of this here. Now I want to go back to my next thing right here, back to my channel. This is my main channel right here. And what I've got here next is my compressor. Let's play this back now. This is an SSL-G compressor. I'm going to turn it on now. Tightens our mix up. Now I want to raise my mix a little bit more. I'm not even near 0 dB yet. I want to go with about minus 3 dB, almost 9.6. That's minus 9.6. That's perfect. Hear that sound? It sounds really tight right there. I like that sound. I'm trying to make sure my drums and the elements that are on the master output are going to have my drums feeling like the kind of music I'm doing. This is hip hop. I want to give it that hip hop feel. The guy's going to come rap should be really into it once he hears this in the mix. Okay? So next I want to do, I want to widen this mix out. I'll make it sound wide in the headset. I'm going to pop this on. This is the Ozone. This is free. The Ozone Imager 2. I'll turn on right now. Oh, he probably saw it one time. Oh, here we go. You can hear that. I'll turn it off. It's wider now. I'm at 64% up here. I pull down here. And you can hear that. Now the reason why I do this is to keep the mix going on. What I normally will do though, I'll turn all this off. I want to hear it this way without anything on it. I'll turn the stuff on like that. I want to hear it all. So I'll come back in. I go to ozone. I'll turn ozone off. I go here, turn my compressor off. I'll come back here, turn up this off. Get that off of there. Get back to here. I'll turn down the WORX. I'll turn this off too as well. The purpose of this is just everything has to be where it has to be for me to hear the mix. And I want to make sure I can hear everything clearly, every drum sound. Then once that's all done, of course, I'll turn this stuff on again to test the music out. And so at this point, I want to test the music out. So you want to make sure you keep the stuff on your master off, get everything right first, then apply that. But don't keep it on while you're trying to mix. Keep everything just where it's at until you're ready to go this far. All right, so here I've got this stuff off, mix this is off too. Turn this off for sure, that is off. And I'll come back to here, make sure this is off, that's off there. Turn this off, turn this out, off right there so it's not in. Perfect. And now what I want to do in this case is I want to hear the music. So I'm going to come to here. I want to check one more thing here. I think I need to hear this first. Now what this WORX is doing, I got mono maker right here. I want to make sure I solidify the mono-ness of this next sound. And that bass is deep right there. And it's still, but the drums are just right in the mix because the mix is designed for the drums. Now I'm gonna bring this guitar on top of this. Make sure the drums are driving here. Okay, not bad. So next, I'll play it again. Make sure everything's on. Compressor. Make it wider. Now we're over the box here. You see it's red here, red here. I need to top my mix up. But I just added these elements to see how loud I can be, how I need to bring it down. I need to bring the width down somewhat here. I need to probably get my compression just a little bit more, not so compression-y, and get my mix down a little bit more for this thing right here, you know, and get my mix so it sounds right, but you get the idea. Then what you want to do is you turn all this off. Turn that off, turn this off, turn it off, turn it off. Go back to your basic mix. That's how you mix. Now, if you need me to help you mix your tracks or sit with you mixing and tell you what kind of plugins to get, you know, hey, look, I got that. Even if you're using the MPC plugins, I can make that rock too. I just prefer to use high-end plugins because, you know, when you're sitting around and someone hears your tracks, I got to make sure that the artist I'm working with is going to have a fat sound. Just part of my job, you know what I mean? Any questions, hit me up at the bottom. We'll talk about this thing. And also, please subscribe. Trying to grow this channel out. You know, it keeps us going every day. So I'll see you in the next video. Any questions, put them below.